Today was my first day of placement, and I am in a rural setting, and I am at ECCO Elementary. I am in a 4th grade classroom, and my teacher's name is Mrs. Curtis. When I first arrive, I go into a classroom called Host, and that means helping ECCO students succeed. And it's basically a tutoring center, and it's one-on-one with the students. Every half hour, a new group of kids will come in, and there's like 4 or 5 students per group, sometimes less depending on if they're sick or not. And then after I leave there, I go to Mrs. Curtis's classroom, and there are 26 students in there. And I just observed today, but she is planning on having me work a lot on one-on-one, which I don't love. I'd rather be in front of the whole class, but I'll get what I can take. And she said that she is really looking forward to letting me do a lot of different things. Hey, today was my second day of placement at ECCO, and I absolutely loved it. I spent the morning watching an assembly about bullying, and a magician came in and did a whole bunch of cool stuff and made it a fun way to learn about bullying and how to deal with them. And then I went to my classroom, and I worked with 7 different students one-on-one individually. And the teacher was like, wow, you work really fast. You got a lot done. And she was really excited, and she said that she'll have double the workload for me next week. So I'm pretty excited for that. And she said that when I'm ready to student teach, she would love to have me in her classroom. And I was like, okay, that's pretty far away. But she's like, I don't care. Put my name down. So I think that she really likes me, and we seem to get along really well. And I love the students in the class. Hey, today is my 3rd day of field placement at ECCO, and one event that happened today that really sticks out to me is I have a little boy that's autistic in my classroom, and over the past couple of weeks, everyone in the class has been doing an autobiography or a biography on somebody famous that they admire. And so they had to research on him and watch movies on him and read books about him and do internet research. And they had to write a paper on him. And then this week they were to make a puppet, create a puppet that looks like their person. And they were to read their paper and present it to the class as if the puppet was talking. And so the autistic little boy came up, and it was his turn. And I thought it was awesome that he got to present just like everyone else. And someone got to hold his paper, and he got to pick someone just like everyone else. And he's a very severe with autism, so you definitely know that he has it when you look at him. And he got up there and he gave his report, and it was so cute, and it melted my heart, and I was so proud that he actually got to do that, because it's really hard for them to get up in front of people and look at them eye to eye. So that was the highlight of my day. Hey, today was my 4th day of placement, and I had a sub instead of my normal teacher. I got to work a lot one-on-one with people because my teacher left me a whole list of people to work with. It was Valentine's today, so they got to do a little party, and I got to be part of it. And I got little Valentines from them, and I received a little letter from a girl who said how it's one that I really work with a lot, and she loved how I worked with her, and she said I was pretty and that I was nice. And then at the end it said, do you promise to tell me your first name before you leave? And I thought it was really cute, but I promised her, so they'll know my first name when I leave. And also I had a sub today, as I said, and she's a former Marine, and she has taught me and showed me what I do not want to be as a teacher. She was rude and mean and strict with the kids, and they're 4th graders, and she was talking to them like they were 9th graders. It was ridiculous. Even the 8 in there, who never says anything, said that she was a witch with a bee. So that's it. Hello, today was another wonderful day at ECCO Elementary, and I worked a lot of one-on-one like I always do, but today at the end of the day, for a half hour, I got to work with 2 little boys on their spelling list because their test is tomorrow. one little boy, you know, he did fine. You know, there's 20 words, but they only have to do the first 15 words, so they don't have to do all of them. And the one boy did perfectly fine. I mean, a couple of mistakes here or there. The other little boy did completely awful. I was astonished about how terrible he did. He could not spell the word print. It was awful. And I asked him, and I was like, have you even looked at these words? Like, do you study at home? Have you done any of them? And he said, I don't have time. I'm not allowed. I have to do my homework really fast before I go to bed. And I was like, okay, well, what do you do before you go to bed? And he was like, I do a lot of other stuff. And so I told him, I was like, well, maybe instead of playing, like, maybe stop playing video games like 10 extra minutes and do your list. And he says that he doesn't play video games, but he was really awful at spelling. From a certain situation that happened today in my field placement, I learned how I'm going to handle certain situations in a classroom. When I want to confront students or scold them individually, I don't want to do it in front of the class, because then the class gangs up with me. Of course, they're going to be on my side because I'm the teacher, and basically everyone turns against the student who's getting in trouble and makes them feel alone and sad, and it's not fair, and it makes a student should feel safe in their environment and in a classroom. And I didn't feel like the teacher handled the situation well today, and she made the student feel very embarrassed, and I never want my students to feel embarrassed. Hey, today during placement, my teacher came up to give me my evaluation, and as she was handing them to me, she was informing me that she was talking to the teacher across the hall, because I work with her kids and my teacher's kids, and they said that if I ever need any extra hours or anything, they would love to have me in there, because they absolutely love me and they love how I work with the kids, and they said that I build really great rapport with the kids, and that when I leave, all the kids that don't get to see me ask why they don't get to be back with me, and the kids that are with me never want to leave me and want to like stay in and work with me when they're going to recess and lunch and everything. So it made me feel really good and know that I'm building rapport with them, and that they really do enjoy having me there, and that I'm making a difference. Hey, today at placement I did absolutely nothing except for my own homework, because I got there and my teacher said that she had nothing for me to do because they were doing Ohio Achievement Test things in the morning, and the rest of the afternoon they were having a rewards banquet or benefit thing, so she had nothing for me to do. It would have been nice for her to email me, but she didn't. Waste of time. Hey, today at ECCO, nothing really exciting or anything happened, and I guess that I learned from that you're not going to have, though a classroom is never boring, you're not always going to have a really funny story or really exciting news or something really terrible happen or something sad happen. So I guess going to placement today and just having it be like an ordinary day and nothing really stick out to me, I think that shows me that though teaching is exciting and cool and exciting things happen, it's not going to happen every single day, and I need to know that going in, and it might actually be kind of nice sometimes. Today is my final day at field placement. It was actually really fun. I received a $15 iTunes card, which I wasn't even expecting to get anything, so it was awesome, and they really were appreciative, and all the kids were upset and sad. So it really shows that even if they don't really, like even some of the kids, if they don't show you that they like you or appreciate you or like acknowledge you, on the last day you always get to see how everyone's upset and, you know, sad and not want you to leave, and it's just kind of good to know that even though they didn't show you that how they really felt, they really did know that you were back there, you know, behind the scenes helping out, and it made me feel really good. But on a sad note, today I found out that a little boy that I help in my class, his older brother had died in a four-wheeling accident over the past weekend, and their last name was Gray, and so everyone in the school today had gray on, so it was really like cool to see the community coming together to help the family. Alright, so now it's time for me to reflect back on my time at field placement. Like I said, I was at ECCO, and I learned a lot of different things from my teacher, Mrs. Curtis. Probably the most important thing I learned over this field placement and last field placement, so the entire year, is that it's not always going to be fun. I don't wake up every Thursday morning, yay, I can't wait to go to placement. There were days that I dread it, like I just don't want to go. And though they say you should love your job, or you should love what you do, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't want to be a teacher. I just don't want to go, and I don't want to spend all day there for the day, or, you know, I think other things are more important, but they're not. I think the biggest thing I didn't like about this placement was the host program in the beginning. I tutored for the first half of the day, and then in the afternoon I got to go in my own classroom, and I didn't like that. Also, I learned that the teachers are really appreciative, and they love what we're doing. They love having us in the classroom, and when you're doing what you're told and you're doing a really good job, it sets a good like environment for other ECCO members to come in, and I feel like it's important to be professional, and if you do, the teachers really appreciate it. Also, after doing this field placement, I kind of see like what I want out of my classroom, how I want procedures set up, how I want the room set up, all that good stuff. But I also found out things that I don't want to do. Like they have a board that in the back of the room that you can like write down something that you're thinking about. It's like the bad mood board. So like if you have something bad on your mind or sad on your mind, you write it down on the board, and then you write, you know, whatever you want. That gets out of hand. Kids, you know, always are going up there and writing stuff about so-and-so's grandma and so-and-so's dog, and the board was just full, and kids were just taking advantage of it basically. So though I think it's a great idea, I would want to make it my own and kind of critique it a little bit to make it even better. But overall, I had a wonderful field experience, and I would love to go back to ECCO Elementary.